Oh yeah, did some doodling this morning. Um, oh, that's not the latest one. Here's the latest one. Is that the latest one? No, that's not the latest one. Oh, it must be over here. Yeah, I was doing this. No, that's not it. Well, I don't know where it is, but at any rate. Oh yeah, way over here. Yeah, way over here. There it is. I was doing something late. Well, I had it on my mind, but I never had time to do anything with it. I started sketching it out this morning, but I had to make some changes. I was going to put in a linkage system, but I don't have enough room and it's too complicated and all blah, blah, blah. So I came up with a compromise. What I'm doing is I'm going to turn off my light. I'm going to put a pivot pin in the rotating part of the truck. This part here just sits up on a pin and rotates right in a circle. This harness-like looking thing is going to sit on a pin in there with a screw just as a retainer. It's going to be resting up against there, and it's going to be able to rotate a little bit. It doesn't need to rotate a whole lot. I mean, rotate meaning if you hit a bump and rough track. It just needs to get about 5 or 10 degrees angle. That'll do it. And I think we're going to be okay there. And then I made the other side. What I'm doing right now is I'm just printing two parts. Well, the two of these and one of those. This is a little spacer I put in there so I could put a small head screw, 256 screw, and just screw that in. And that screw is just to hold it on. It's not really for the side support. Side support's going to be in that pin that is a molded component of that pivot. So it's going to go like that and go like that. And the challenge I had was the width, the size of the wheel, and trying to do it right above the axle, because we have these spacers because we have insulated axles and all that. So it just got tight. All of a sudden, that whole area, what I thought was like wide open, it's not. It's not. The other options I had were to put pins out here and just have it pivot somewhere off angle, and I just knew that was going to be a nightmare to get right, and it wasn't going to work, and I just didn't feel comfortable with it, so I ended up with trying to make this work. Now, there is room here to put in some gusset type stuff, angles and that, fill that in a little more if I need the beef. I'm not sure. This is 2 millimeters. It's going to be at almost full plastic. It's going to be very dense, and it should be quite strong. I'm using PETG, which is a lot stronger than my normal stuff. And then the clearances, this is my first print, so I know I'm either going to be big or small and, all that kind of stuff. You always find those little interferences, and you need to tweak, like a 0.1 or 0.2 millimeter or maybe an 0.2 millimeter in some cases, those dimensions, just to get the machine to put the plastic where you need it. And then we got the side plates to go, and then the wheels and the bearings and all that stuff. The other dilemma that I think I will be struggling with is the overall width of everything, because I've tried to squeeze this down as much as I could. You should have seen it when I got it started. It was like, oh God, this thing is huge. But I've got it down pretty thin. I mean, I can thin that, but it doesn't buy anything. The wheel is 6.8, and you got a pair of them, and you need about 15 mils between them. So you get your 29 wheel to wheel, and that's the dimension this likes, and then this comes out just enough. It doesn't get too fat, and so it all fits. And then I think this is the imitation of the royal blue. No, my brain is shot. Of the good God, where am I? Well, there. Of the Northern. And this is an older version, doesn't have the holes in it and all that, but is what I had on this file, and I grabbed it and went with it, so there. And I do have the option to raise and lower the wheel set a little bit. If we find that this is too low, I can push the wheels down. I think it's about as low as I can get it, as you can see. It's fairly, if I do a right, there it is. That's what, 2 millimeters, I think, below the surface of the body, so that's about it. You're going to get some movement here and all that. That's okay. So that's the plan, Sam. And we'll just see. It's going to take 45 minutes to print, and it's 5 o'clock, so I won't get it till supper time. Probably come down after supper and see what I got, and we'll just go from there. But I thought I'd fill you in on how it's going and what's happening and what it might look like if it works. It's 3 pieces, screw together and bolt on the sides, and you're done. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, later.